Welcome back to UrbanX TV. We got the Black Dot back in the building.
Yes, nice long hiatus.
You know what I'm saying? We haven't done a sit down, just me and him, in a little while, in our original location.
Absolutely, in the dungeon.
Word. So there's a lot. We had a lot to talk about, so we couldn't wait any longer.
Absolutely.
So first, before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate the support from everyone.
Absolutely.
It's been overwhelming, and. Dad, you got something to say?
Yeah, again, we want to thank you for your support, your continued support. Subscribe to what we're doing. And we want to make it very clear that the X in UrbanX is actually for urban experience. It also represents the unknown, and we know we could take it to different multiple layers, on what it really means. But the urban experience is our experience in its totality. So sometime we might have a vegan chef that we're interviewing, or or entrepreneur, or a DJ, or something really positive, and we're doing that so that we don't get pigeonholed. When you step outside into your community, everything you see is a part of that experience. Some of it you like, some of it you might not like. Shit, I might interview a recovering crackhead up on this month. You know what I mean? Because it represents the totality. I know that's like a double, But what I'm trying to say is we need your full support. Don't just support, heavy hitters talking about controversial stuff. We're going to be providing information that's going to be valuable to you and your family. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for the support of the book. The sales went through the roof from our last time, and if you've got the book, we want to hear from you at UrbanX.nyc at gmail.com. Let me know what your thoughts are, but I want to thank you personally because it showed the young children who came up with that, half price, that was their thing. It showed them the results of positive marketing. So I want to thank you again for purchasing this book. You still can get it. It's not Black Friday. It's Cyber Monday. It's Cyber every day for us. So you still can get it for half price if you log on to my website, idecoded.com. It'll make a great gift for somebody. If you haven't got it so far, please support. Now, I dug up and realized this is the very original book that I did 12, 13 years ago, right? And they sold out. But I found 10 copies of this book. Look at the artwork. All right, this was crazy. I put the warning on the back of the book. Hip hop, you already know the history. Now uncover the mystery. Drop many jewels that are relevant today. Right. This right here is the Bible that breaks down everything you see taking place in hip hop today that's being revealed. It's in this book. And I wrote this 12 years ago, 2005. This is, all right. Now I got 10 copies of this. So now this is a collector's item. So what I decided to do was treat it as art. So I got 10 copies of this. These are going to be going for $100. Oh my God. Fuck is Black Dot talking about? It's only 10 of these left. I'm going to autograph it and number it so you'll know that you got one of the last 10 copies of this masterpiece. You'll never see this again. I'm revising the book for 2018, new cover, new info, but this is it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you guys who got $100, you want to try to wait to be the last one to get the one that says the last copy. Don't play yourself out of the game. Stay tuned, because I'm going to post this up on my website, idecoded.com, right? And I'm going to sign it to you, whatever, and I'm going to number it with a little stamp. This is where you know you got book number 10. You go, well, at least I'm in the top 10. Or, I got book number 8. You know what I'm saying? So, $100. If you don't see the value in it, that's fine. All right? But that price will not budge because it's only 10. Now, you might be able to go on eBay and they sell them for $45 or something, but they won't have my signature on them. I don't know where they got them dusty books from. This is it. So, with that being said, let's get into, we're going to call this one Harveywood's House of Cards is Falling Down. The satanic, gay-tanic, and rape-tanic culture of America. I'm going to go with something like that. Kind of spruce it up for you. So, you want to start questions, or you just want me to go in on some shit?
So, over the last, I want to say couple months, it's been allegation after allegation of everybody in Hollywood, I guess. Like, nobody's safe when it comes to the sexual assault, sexual harassment, sexual misconduct. And as everything was coming down the pike, I was feeling like, like, why now?
Mm-hmm.
And I get, some women felt that they couldn't speak up back then, and there's a lot of platforms open before they can speak, and their voices are taken serious. But the timing of everything seems a little weird to me, and how every media outlet is going about covering this, because I feel like they're lumping sexual harassment, misconduct, and rape into
all in one big package.
Right. So you can get accused for sexual assault, and you'll still get looked at as a rapist, which is kind of wild to me. So I wanted to know your thoughts on what's going on.
Okay. What they're doing is they're normalizing this process. Now, as I spoke about in urban culture decoded, there's something natural, and then there's something that's normal. Normal is what we begin to accept, right? Like a chicken nugget is normal, but that shit ain't natural.
Right.
Right? What part of the bird is a nugget popping off, right?
Right.
Even the way we make music now, with no instruments, that is the normal process for this generation, but it ain't natural. I'm from the Motown era. They all had to be in the same room, sharing energy and making magic on the spot. Right? But you don't have to do that no more. A microwave is normal.
But you're right.
But it's not natural. Grandma didn't fucking nuke food. Right? She didn't have full course meals ready in 6 minutes. Right? So a lot of what we're seeing, the homosexuality situation now is normal. You can't step out and say that this hits you. We've accepted this as a normal way of life. As a result, even though we know by nature itself it's not natural, right? But it has become normal. So now the rape culture aspect of it, they're conditioning us to accept it as normal, man. That's normal. Look, everybody, is going with it. We putting it all in one box. You know what I mean? So the sting of coming forward and hitting somebody with these allegations is not going to shock you anymore. Hasn't shocked most of us those who purchased the first book. We've been talking about this for 20 years plus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What goes on the casting couches in the industry. So they're normalizing it by synchronizing all of their media outlets to, you know what I'm saying, so that you become so conditioned to, like another case, another person. I'm confused now. There's so many people coming forth and so many people. Then you're lumping in, let's go back to the term fake news. Remember, they interjected that into your lexicon maybe 2 years ago, if that. To the point now where you don't know what's real and what's not, even though you saw it with your own goddamn eyes. Your own eyes are now perceiving you. You filmed the shit, but you didn't know that was fake blood and fake shots, blanks ringing out, and you swore that shit was real, and it wasn't, right? Real news stories, they might, you know what I'm saying? And now it only take one person in the chat room to go, that's fake news. And now I'm confused. Is it fake? Is it real? So when certain sisters are coming forth, it started with Bill Cosby. Right? Like there were legitimate women who came forward, and then there was a whole slew of women who just jumped on a conveyor belt. Oh, he got me too. And then they was able to dismiss 40 of them off the rip. And that made you go, I don't know about this other 40.
Right.
You see the mind fuck? I don't know about this other. They just dismissed 40 women. Now, what about these other women?
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, these sisters are just out for money. So now the state of confusion popped in with that. You know what I'm saying? And Bill might have been the damn test run. You never know how these people think, because these people don't think in the moment. These people are 2, 3, 4, 5 years ahead, and they know this was coming down the pipe. Right? I also looked at the list, and 85 to 90% of them were Jewish men.
Which bugged me out, because we know how the power structure is aligned, right? So the fact that these Jewish guys were getting caught up with things, I'm like, that means they either piss somebody off.
Boom.
Or like,
the minute I saw Harvey Weinstein, that I ain't gonna say nigga, I'm gonna say jigger. He's a Jew. We'll call him a jigger or something. Anyway, he run Hollywood. Right? So we know that there are different factions of secret societies who are going at each other, a war that is existing above our spiritual understanding. We just down here trying to survive and following 150,000 news outlets owned by 6 people. Viacom, you know, the 6, look it up. Which means they control your thought process. Your thought is everything. How you perceive shit is the name of the game. So now they're controlling your thought process. It's easy for them to manipulate to get the results that they want. Now, from a spiritual standpoint, we can all say we are coming into the age of Aquarius, or the knowledge where everything will be revealed. This is for my conscious people out there who need to get off on some conscious shit too, right? And it just happens to be that this has to come out. It was all Jewish men. First of all, they do that. They get down like that. So we're not surprised with that. They screw their wife through a sheet hole. That's a whole nother ball game. And they fuck their cousins and shit. That's why they act the way they do. You know what I mean? Their thing is about preserving their bloodline. When you understand that, racism makes all the sense in the world. I cannot mix with you, Malcolm, because then I will disappear. Right? I have to preserve my way of life and my bloodline, even if that means I gotta hit my cousin's box and have a kid that's fucked up and have him hit that cousin box. But we understand, if we deal with our sciences and we drill our children into the Talmud and all of that shit and the chanting that they do to bring about their reality. Now, they're very good at numbers and understanding, but they have no common sense. All right? So, the fact that it was all Jewish men told me that there's another sector of the Illuminati or the secret societies that targeted them for a specific reason. Now, Harvey has been doing this shit for 30 years. Plus, everybody in the industry knew that already. He ain't the only one. This is the process. This is the rites of passage to get up into Hollywood, and they can do whatever they want there. There is no regulation. It's like being in the military. They govern themselves. Now, with that being said, before we move on, because I'm going to be all over the place with this, there is an attack on women. In the military, tell me I'm wrong, college campuses, women are being violated. In the church, women are being violated. In corporate America, women are being violated. In the music industry, women are being violated. Look at them young Olympic girls, all violated. Fashion industry, all violated. All of them. Is there any wonder why women hate men? Let's be clear with this, right? Not all women and not all, let's not, for the simpletons out there. We're going to disengage the comment section on this one. All right? If you really want to get at me with something that you want to say, whether you agree or disagree, go to UrbanX.nyc at gmail.com and voice your concerns there, because this is going to get a little, all right? And I don't need a whole bunch of clutter of people who are misconstruing my words. There's been a violation because the white man in particular does not care for his woman. Go back to Greek and Rome and look at their statues. Who's on the statue? The man and the boy. We only need these women to pump out more boys so we can have the fun that we want. So the whole civil rights shit, when you had women attached to that, right? Mm-hmm. These were white women in particular who created the whole feminine, lesbian shit. It's because they're at war with their men. And they jumped on the bandwagon as we were fighting for our rights. Now keep in mind, we didn't get down like that. We, the men and women in our family, had no kind of beef like that unless it was orchestrated beef through so-called slave masters and all of that kind of stuff. The welfare system came in and said, we'll give you all you want.
The man can't be in the house.
Can't be in the house, so the man had to leave and act like he wasn't there. It's a very deep conversation. I don't want to spend too much time on that. But there is a war. Women have refused to come forward for the fear of being ridiculed, right? But this is protocol in Hollywood and corporate America. Everywhere you go, women are being violated. Now, because women are being violated, other women can sympathize and synthesize. All right, watch where I'm going with this. Their emotion emits off a frequency that says, I'm hurt, I'm disgusted with men who violated me.
Me too, the Twitter.
Hashtag me too.
Me too. Right.
So when other women can match your emotional vibration, that brings y'all closer together. And now we see an influx of women saying we don't need men. Right? We can get a dildo to do the physical act of fucking or scissors or whatever the fuck they do. That's the easy part. The emotional pain that they share, all right, collectively from being violated by men in particular white men. And when in Rome, you do as what? The Romans do. We have accepted a European philosophy, and we too have, began to deal in treating women below the standard of what they should be treated as. Just want to throw that out there. And for all the men who are going to say, well, a lot of these bitches be acting crazy. Yeah, that's a whole nother aspect of it too. We get that. But I'm just talking about in general. Just look at the workplace. Right. How many women have to deal with men? Oh, baby. And you want to get ahead. And you know what you got to do to get ahead. It goes on in each one of those components we just spoke of.
Right.
So there is a hatred for men. And a lot of these women have bottled that up. You know what I mean? And then now the floodgates is open. Somebody was brave enough to say, yo, I'm tired of this shit. This is what happened. And these are prominent women in Hollywood who have come forward, but they all have taken some kind of oath. So that's also another dynamic of it. We'll get to Terry Crews in a minute, right? So they've all taken some kind of oath to be in Hollywood, to do what they do. Because actors and fashion people, they come a dime a dozen. Why should I choose you? What am I going to get out of it? So it's the perfect... not the gatekeepers, a lot of them are the gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? So there's gatekeepers and there's gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? And you have to, whichever lane they funnel you through, you have to cross over. And they're the ones who protect this thing called Hollywood, since we're talking Hollywood per se. We'll get into the music industry and TV industry, and we'll kind of, you know what I mean? So what we're seeing now is them normalizing a traumatizing process. With that being said, I want to say this to the LBGTQ, whatever else.
I think they added the I at the end.
And they're going to add the P, which is pedosexual and pederast. They already got their logo, all right? For all of you in the LBGT community, you better support these pedophiles when they step up for their rights. Wait a minute, wait. That's where you're going to draw the line? So because it's kids... you would never hurt kids. Is that what you're saying? Well, when two mothers or two fathers adopt a child, you're also hurting the child. Psychologically, mentally, emotionally, socially, the children are confused. Are you following where I'm going with this? They are hurt as well, right? Let's not just focus on physical hurt. Yes, these pedophiles are going to physically abuse these children, but these children are already fucked up. And if you think I'm lying, look around. Okay, so when they come out, because they next, they've already, so you can't draw the line here and then draw another line on the other side of you, like you in the middle. Either it's natural or it's not. And if it's normal, that's on that side of the line, and then you're going to draw another line because we're not physically abusing children. This is their lifestyle. All right? I know you don't want to hear it, and it's very gross, and what the fuck is Black Dot talking about? I'm telling you what's coming down the pipe. Isn't it obvious? They let you live. They let you have these platforms now to do you. And now it was all so that they could really do them. They fucked y'all. Quiet as kept. Because you thought once the floodgates open and now we're accepted in society of being a trans human or trans bird or whatever the fuck it is. Right? You thought that was it. We got what we no longer have to be in the closet. We free. And to a certain degree you are. See, let me tell you something about me. And people don't really like it, but I don't give a fuck. I deal in practicality shit. So I accept reality for what it is. Gay people ain't going nowhere, bro. So the fact that you want to hate them, that's cool. Your hate can't make them disappear. If it could, none of us would be here. I said that in the book. Christians would get rid of Muslims. Muslims would fucking get rid of this group. Gays would get rid of straight people would get rid of gays. Whites would. If you could think these people out of existence, they'd all be gone. Right? The reality is you better be able to adapt to the society you live in. Now, I'm not telling you you should be gay. I'm straight black pride times 10, motherfucker. But I don't live in a bubble where I think that they do not exist. They have a place in this reality whether you like it or not. Black people deal with 2 time frames. The way things were. Oh man, back in the days we used to, man. And then the way they want things to be. Because in the future, man, when we get rid of all these gays and races, man, we're going to have this black euphoric place. And all of that's bullshit. The one time people do not want to deal with is the way things are. It's an escape mechanism we create so we don't have to deal with reality. In a nutshell. Right. So the LBGTQZWX, whatever, they're not going anywhere. They are here. And when I say you better be swift and changeable, you need to accept that they're here and move accordingly because they're not going nowhere. And coming down the pipe, they saved the best for last. The pedosexual, and they even got their own logo. We'll put it up on the screen, when we do the post-production stuff. They've already created their logo. They've been waiting for this moment. Bestiality is already accepted in certain places. They threw that in there but they've been waiting for to say, please, we just want to fuck these little boys, man, and these little children. Because there's a whole nother dynamic to that. You know what I mean? And you think that's weirdo, perverted shit. And to us who try to vibrate naturally, it is. But for those who exist in this realm, those who do that, they've been doing that. Right? They've been doing that. It's on their statues. It's on their walls. Anything etched in stone like that tells you that's how they get down.
A Catholic school had to cover their statue recently because it was a grown man and he had a piece of bread, and as a kid, it looked wild.
It looked wild, yeah. Right? Or do you think all those Roman Catholic priests are some form of anomaly where they were just the strange ones? No, they all get down. They even got a fund now
to handle
that.
Yeah.
That's how many priests are doing this. They have a fund set aside to pay off the people because what they're trying to say is this is what we do. That's like a car company knowing that this car right here is going to kill 50,000 people, but we're going to sell 30 million of these cars. So they look at the ends justify the means. All right, let's set up a lawsuit fund for those 50,000 people who will die because that is a faulty seatbelt. But we don't want to take all them fucking cars back and redo them. So they set up a fund for that. It's the same thing with these Catholic. This is their way of life. This is their thing. And we have a hard time accepting that. So they're getting ready to normalize all that. all bets is off now. You know what I mean? So the Hollywood situation, because even though we're talking about all these women coming forward, there's another section where the men who have been violated are also coming forward. You know what I'm saying? Because my man, what's the white guy? Corey Feldman. Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Corey Feldman or something been telling y'all this for years.
Yeah.
If you listen, they all been telling you this for years. That this is a pedophile ring that takes place in Hollywood. It's a pedophile ring. So you have the section of your pedophiles, you have the ones who are just violating women. This is how they get down. And Harvey Weinstein pissed somebody off. Shout out to Dame Dash, who smacked the shit out of him, from what I understand. You know what I'm saying? And you know, for treating women out of pocket. See, people sleep on Dame Dash, but Dame Dash spoke a lot about principle, morals, and things of that nature. And in Hollywood, there are no principles, there are no morals. You have an opportunity to say yes or no. Terry Crews, all right? I'm gonna get to him for a minute. Terry Crews, now he wanna play a victim. Now he's pulling up charges against the dude who grabbed his dick. But in the moment, you had an opportunity to smack the shit out that man, right? And you didn't, right?
He said the way it would look.
Who gives a fuck how it would look? It wasn't about the way. He didn't want to lose his way of life. Let's be real. That's why a lot of these other women ain't come forward either. I live in a beautiful ass condo. I eat lunch with the rich and famous. Right? Let's be real. A lot of them decided not to come forward because Harvey Weinstein had the ability to make or break you. Right?
Right.
Just like the fashion designer has an opportunity to make or break you if you're trying to be a model. Right? Just like the doctor for the Olympics, you know, could put a good word in to either have you make the Olympic team or not, or say you're not physically ready. So he was, you see what I'm saying, where this is going? So Terry Crews, first of all, he act like a little bitch. Look how did you see the picture with him with the bra on?
Nah.
Oh no, he was in that might have been the same goddamn party. He's standing next to Sylvester Stallone and somebody else. He got a shirt on first, he chilling big, and then he took it off and he has on a fucking tank top bra piece. All of your roles in Hollywood is what? Kind of clownish, because you're a big, overwhelming looking black man and you don't want to scare these white people. So you goof off. What if they had grabbed your wife's pussy at that same party? What would you have done then? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Would you go, no, let him grab your pussy? Speaking of grabbing him by the pussy, right? You know what I'm saying? You're going to let him grab you by the pussy because he's a Hollywood executive who was doing this shit across the room at him. He said he was doing all this shit across the room. Then he came over and just grabbed his joint.
Wow.
Dude, that's grounds to get punched in your fucking mouth.
Right.
Right? He didn't do all that. And he buried it and didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, when the Me Too movement came out, now he's a part of the Me Too movement. And Russell tried to get him to drop those charges against this particular, you know, he was saying, you know, let it be, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Hollywood, everybody gay sometime. You know my man in Tropical Thunder said that shit. Hollywood, nigga, everybody gay sometime.
Robert Downey Jr. And they just, somebody just accused Russell Simmons of that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other shoe hasn't dropped yet. You wait until this music industry shoe drops.
Yeah.
Okay? Oh, the list on that. Cameron throwing some shots in there at Mace.
At Mace, right.
He throwing a few shots. When that shoe drop, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be crazy. You thought the Africa Bambaataa expose was crazy. No, that's just the tip of the iceberg. When that other shoe drop, and it will drop, because monkey see what monkey do.
Right.
So people gonna start coming forward, you know what I'm saying, braving the, you know, the atmospheres to say I too was victimized. All right? So it goes back to money versus morals. The Terry Crews, he had an opportunity to say fuck the money. This is a moral principle. And that's the problem with our people. They too afraid. The money dangling over their head. When we decide money is no longer of value, it's going to take a new generation of dudes to go, fuck the money. If I can't make it because, you know what I'm saying, my morals supersede all of that. Then it'll crumble overnight. Right?
Right.
Perfect example with the Missouri football team a couple of years back, the college team.
Right.
They all the black players said, we ain't playing. Right? They make the money for the school.
Right.
Right? It's the only reason the black guys are out there. The whole school is white except the football team or the basketball team, right? They band together and said, we not playing unless this motherfucker gotta go. And the president got fired. Jerry Jones' ass gave an ultimatum just 2-3 weeks ago. If any of my players kneel, they not playing. It would only took 3 players.
Right.
Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and Des Bryant. Them 3 right there could have took a knee and said, all right, I get you, boss man. We ain't playing. And the stock would crumble immediately. As a result of them 3 doing it, other dudes would have said, if they doing it,
right,
I'm kneeing too. And 60 of them motherfuckers would have kneeled.
Right.
And the Cowboy stock would crumble. Right? Imagine turning on, we don't have a game today because the Cowboy team decided not to. That's all it would have took. Right? So there are instances where we're being tested and the money still rules. All these young rappers, that's all they talk about, is their money. You know what I mean? Right. So as long as money rules the day, there are going to be opportunities for pedophiles and pederasts. And you know the difference. The pedophile is the one who just do children. The pederast is only, he likes boys. That's it.
Okay.
That's where that, that's a specific group. And, like I said, it's going to be letters. They're going to add the P coming down the line with that. You better be clear on that. C.K. Lewis, the comedian, he's on that list. He looked like a pervert, don't he?
Yeah, but that bugged me out because his stand-up is like, his stand-up routine is like real pro-women. And then...
he's not against them.
Yeah.
He just saw that he's in a position of power.
Right.
And his apology was like some stand-up shit.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
He was like, I didn't know, I want to apologize because I didn't realize you just can't whip your dick out. And he said that. They had to blur it out. He said, you just can't whip out your dick unless they say you can whip out your dick. That's some really bizarre shit to say.
As an apology.
Right. Brett Ratner. The list goes on and on and on because that's a culture in Hollywood, in the music industry, and you better get ready because it's all come winding down. But I think it's a war above our understanding of us in general.
Right.
So I'm just poking holes and trying to get, and I'm trying to poke some holes to see what's going on the other side. I don't have all the answers to this, but this is an ongoing thing that's taking place in our community. Like I said, there are war and factions. I want to talk about secret societies, but not the ones you think I want to talk about. I want to talk about the ones in our community that we don't speak about because they are a critical aspect of things too.
Okay.
That's, huh?
I said elaborate, please.
Okay, the family members that are touching other family members that we don't speak about, right? We act like that's a secret society, right? The victims, the ones who are getting touched, who go their whole life and don't speak about it. They've created their own secret society. Right? I've been violated my whole life. I won't come out and I won't talk about this kind of stuff. Then there's these niggas who are in jail who are getting violated, who come home and they don't talk about it. That's a secret society. I spoke about it in Urban Culture Decoded. There are multiple, we got to get out of the mindset that a secret, anything, you know what I mean? Those are secret societies right in our community. What you think these niggas have been doing when they doing 15 years behind the wall? And they all been participating in some shit that's out of pocket. They never talk about that when they come home. And I'm not saying every dude who went to prison is violating or for the simpletons. I always got to double down. I'm not saying everybody who went to jail was violated, but there's a large portion that have been. Right? Now, they come out and they get down for free, right? They banging boys out for free. When an opportunity comes to go into Hollywood or the music industry and the Jewish guys say, you gotta bang me out, or I gotta bang you out, that's easy. Is it not?
Right.
I'm already banging niggas out for free. I'm gonna bang you out. This is just, and I can advance. You see, so in Hollywood, they have this thing where they try to turn people out. You get more points for that. Like brothers in the hood think they can turn these dykes back to women. Yo, son, she fine as shit, but she a dyke. You know what? I know that's old school dyke, whatever they call them now, bottoms or whatever the term is, right? Son, I'm gonna turn her back into a lady. Yeah, niggas get ego and think they can do that shit. And some of them can. And then there are some who go with you and they let you get them pregnant. And on the side, you didn't know the real her dyke partner or lesbian partner is waiting in the wing. All they wanted was a baby.
Right.
They needed a nigga. You know what I mean? So she doubled down. She go feminine again. Get what she want and tell you, I don't need nothing from you but a few dollars. And then all of a sudden, the partner reappears and they have what they want. Fucking baby.
Right.
That's a secret society. You see what I'm saying? Of lesbians who act like they like men for the sole purpose of using men, the same way you may use a chick for whatever the case may be. So you see what's going on? All of this stuff is happening and we're not talking about it, right? So with that being said, here's my message to the conscious community / music industry. Leave Poppy, Hassan Campbell, alone. Leave him alone. Let me explain you what I mean. Because if you've been in the mix, they've been going at it, this and that. Every time I see Poppy in his car, right? To me, he's on the couch. And he's talking to a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist just happened to be us. You understand my point? And he's pouring out his heart of everything he's been through to his psychiatrist, which is us. Now, we are supposed to take that information, this is just my humble opinion, and apply it to other people who, because he exhibits all the characteristics of somebody who's been traumatized. He's confused sometimes, he's violent sometimes, he's passive aggressive sometimes he's looking for sympathy, sometimes he want to kill somebody. All of these are characteristics of somebody who's been traumatized and abused. And that information may not save his life. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, it may save another 12-year-old kid's life that you see exhibit the same traits. You see what I'm saying? This little kid is always violent. What's going on with him? So to me, Poppy is hitting you with gems. You know what I mean? But too many people want to sit around and criticize a victim. You know how you look when you argue with somebody crazy? Or perceived to be crazy?
Crazy.
Fucking crazy.
Right.
Poppy was brave enough. And if this is giving his life purpose, because now he's on his mission to help other people deal with this, then you are supposed to take that as a gem. You have people in the chat room saying he was 12. He knew what he was doing. He kept going back. Well, let me explain something to you. Nicki Minaj's brother just got convicted of raping his 11-year-old stepdaughter. And I read the details of what he did to that girl. I won't even mention. That's how fucked up they were. Now, she testified at 14, so she may have gotten brave. Let's say she made it all the way to 20 years old and still didn't testify. She's a part of a secret society now, right? Are you trying to tell me if she kept being abused until she was 20, that she knows better? There's a component of this that we're missing. When they violate you at 11, there's a psychological, emotional aspect that takes place. You never get past 11 years old. Right? You physically grow older, but you shut down because there's a process that takes place when you've been violated like that, that you compartmentalize, your brain splits, you become multiple personalities, right? And then they say shit like, this is what Nicki Minaj's brother told the 11-year girl, I'll kill you if you say something, or I'll kill your family. We forget this aspect of it as we began to say stupid shit like, well, when he was 15 or something, he should have just walked away. Stockholm Syndrome is real, right? They become your handler. And you begin to look for them because Your innocence was taken at that specific moment that some dude rammed his dick up your ass, or whatever the case may be. There's a rush of energy that goes from the base of your spine up the 33 fucking vertebrae into your medulla oblongata and all that shit, and splits your brain into shit. And those who are doing ritual work, they begin to create the ritual at that point. What do you see? Go to Mars. Tell me what the fuck you see, as they're traumatizing you, and remote viewing becomes possible because you begin to split and your mind becomes so fucking fragmented. Then you find one doorway to place that little 11-year-old girl. She's over here so she doesn't feel the pain no more, and then they lock that door. You know what I mean? And sometimes they may never be able to go back to find the key to open that door, and they become quiet. Watch your children, adults. When they become quiet or this and that, these are all signs, right? These are all signs. Now also, side note, parents, you need to have these secret conversations for your children. Me and my wife had them for hours. My daughter may say something like, Dad, you know what? I left them dirty socks under the bed. Please wash them. They're my favorite socks. Now that sounds like a regular conversation. But if me and my wife hear that shit, I'm coming to kill everybody in your family, because that's a distress signal that me and my daughters and my sons had in place to make sure if the handler is right above you, breathing down your neck, you still can have this conversation, because it's a regular conversation. It's not help, or, you know what I mean? We did this purposely, and we never let our children go stay at anybody's house. I don't give a fuck. You could be a great, no. Because it only takes once for your child to be violated. I remember my son, my oldest son, was talking about, because he went to a Catholic school. I sent all my children to Catholic school, not to become Catholics. It's just that the graduation rate to college was 99%. And I knew they had to wear uniforms and they were very disciplined. So I took advantage of that process. But my children will all tell you, no, we knew who the black man was, and we knew the whole shit.
I got kicked out of
I was going to say, Malcolm got kicked out of a lot of classes and shit. It was, get him out of here. But one day Marcus comes over and says, yeah, we having a retreat with the priest, and we going away. I said, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. He was like, well, why can't you can't go a motherfucking place? You can laugh. I said, nigga, you ain't going nowhere, because I know what time it is. Then another time he came home and they wanted pictures of the family. Whoa, pictures of my family so they can get that ritual work done because you was one that got away? I don't think so. What the fuck is wrong with y'all people? Okay? So families, create those words. Stop being free to let your kids go hang out, because it may not be the parents of the other kid. It may be an uncle who comes over, a sibling, friends come over. You know what I mean? You have to protect your children at all cost. All right? So back to Poppy. Leave Poppy alone and allow these gems that he's given you to be beneficial to those who really need it. His life has become his testament, and that's some brave shit. And he's telling you stories that he broke the oath of the secret society. And don't think Africa Bambaataa wasn't his handler. Africa Bambaataa didn't have to tell him, I'll kill you. He could just look around at all the fucking killers that was around Africa Bambaataa and know, And Poppy has been very upfront about his relationship, who he still loves Africa Bambaataa. And for y'all simpletons who have been spending the last 6 months going in on a victim, shame on you. Now you want to know why people don't come forward, and you want to say that he should have known better when he was 12 and 15 and he kept going. You misunderstanding the whole process of what these kind of things can do. Ronald Savage was different. Meaning he wasn't a street dude, so he didn't exemplify, he didn't become violent, he became more reclusive. So there are many aspects to being a victim, and I'm gonna share this with all of y'all. We have all been sodomized and raped and abused in some way, shape, form, or fashion. May not be physically. Look at us as black people, we have been fucked, pun intended. If you really understand what we have been through in this country. You know what I mean? We have been through so much shit. And just look at us. We're violent. We're confused. The whole litany of things we have gone through has been because we have been violated. You know what I'm saying? Way back when to now, maybe just not physically, but the violations have been taking place. So do me a favor and let Poppy live. If you tired of listening to him, don't click on his video. Sometimes I don't want to hear that shit. I go, not today, Poppy. But that's not just with him, it's with other people too. Just like you might click on my videos and go, yo, Black Dot, not today. I'm tired of hearing your goofy ass voice, so I'm not gonna, that's your choice. But don't go on his timeline or create a war of videos questioning whether this man was a victim, right? When you argue with people, like if I bump into an old person at the post office and they curse me the fuck out, what would I look like cursing out this old person who might have dementia, Alzheimer? You motherfucker, fuck that old man. You look stupid. Or somebody who's disabled would have Tourette's, they might go, fuck you. And I say, fuck you back. You look fucking stupid, right? So, this is supposed to be something that you appreciate. So every time I see Hassan in his car, he's on his couch. And I'm taking notes. Okay, that's what I need to look forward to. Oh, you violent today, Poppy. Okay, you want to fuck somebody up. Kill a nigga today. Oh, now you looking for sympathy. Okay, I can understand that. You passive aggressive. Oh, you understand my point? His life has taken on mission and purpose. And so I want to applaud Poppy for that. You will never hear nothing negative about me, about any victims. And more people are victims than you realize. Right?
Right.
I even saw statistics that said 1 in 4 niggas is gay now. So when I get in a room with 5 or 6 niggas, I look around. I'm like,
that's real. That's real.
I'm just telling you. Why? When in Rome, we're doing as the Romans do. We have accepted a lifestyle that is not of our vibration. That's what happened when you get captured. You take on the ways of your captors. You know what I mean? Look how many brothers have been in and out of prison.
Right.
Look how many people who have fathers who wasn't around, and then the stepfather came in because the woman felt she needed a man in her life and violated the kids. Hurt people do what?
Hurt people.
They hurt people. So the process begins on and on and on. Look how many pastors who told you this is the work of God. Bend over. And then when the church find out, all he say is, you got to forgive me because Jesus said forgive me. And then they forgive him. How many church people go to bat for the pastor and he just violated 9 girls in the choir? And he just says, please, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, forgive me. You understand my process? So there are multiple layers to what we see going on, and it's all festering up that in all walks of life, we have adapted a lifestyle that doesn't belong to us, and there are victims everywhere. All right? Everywhere there are victims. So, again, teach your children about what's going on in society. It's all coming to a head. The music industry shoe will drop soon, I promise you. And a litany of names. You already know the names. You already know. You just in denial. You don't want to think that that person did that. Oh yeah. All right, because it is a culture. You know what I mean? And it's not just the Jewish men. They all get down. The women have their own sector that they turn out regular women, and you know what I mean? And it's so much psychological shit that goes on that's involved with this. Harvey Weinstein just represents a snapshot of the other side of the curtain. So when your children want to go and be fashion designers, or you want your children to be child prodigies in Hollywood, you better be careful. Right? Because you as a parent, you go with them until they turn the kid against you. The kid, I'm 16 now, man, leave me the fuck alone, I want to do this. And that's all they wanted, was to isolate you from, you're the original handler. They dismiss you and they become the handler, and they do some real, but what about all the children that are missing?
Right.
What the fuck are they? All right, so this shit goes from the top to the bottom. You know what I mean? And we are at war to protect our babies, to protect their innocence, to give them an opportunity to grow and give them an opportunity to, you know what I mean? But the trauma, I'm speaking about the reverberation of the trauma. It's recognizable now if you just pay attention to what's going on. You know what I mean? Harvey Weinstein dealt with women. He violated women. But there are Harvey Weinsteins that only violate men and boys, and you know what I mean? And that's their thing. And then there are women who only violate other women, and the casting couch and the music industry. Even as an artist in the 90s, groupies. That was me in a position of power, and you want to get backstage with us. Now, these wasn't young girls or underage, but at the end of the day, I used the position of power to take advantage of groupies. And that was in the 90s. You know what I mean? So I'm saying that none of us are immune to that. I abused that certain situation back then, and it became a part of the culture. That's what I came in on. Now you grow up and you have a different outlook on life now, but that's the culture. So the culture has to change. If the culture doesn't change, nothing will change. There will always be women who are willing to step forward and say, I'll take that. There'll always be dudes who already saying I'm getting banged out in the hood for crumbs. And why not come to the industry and get banged out? There will always be these rappers wearing dresses now because they have adopted the culture. They understand that hip hop in its original state was magic, and it was supposed to be used to elevate us out of the condition we're in when you understand the alchemy of hip hop. So they jumped ahead and said, no, we're going to corrupt this. Just like, and it's not nothing spooky. If we knew that weed could cure us, they would obviously throw some toxins and shit in the weed. If we understood that water helps our melanin, they would obviously fucking taint the water. If they knew that the air that we breathe, the prana, which is the energy of the universe, ingested and helped us, then they would corrupt the air. Is that not what they're doing?
Right.
The food that's supposed to provide information for us, what are they doing to the food? Right? This is a war. Your sexuality and what you're supposed to do with sexual energy is another form to get you out of this bullshit we in. So all they did is fucking corrupt it. This is a corrupt society. Right? So with that being said, I just want you, let's get some questions. You got some questions you want? Questions?
Sure.
Okay, so I think, how far are we in on this?
About an hour.
Okay, I think that's going to be good. We'll call that part one. With that being said, this is the Black Dot. These are my chronicles. This is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Peace.
Peace.